Hello everyone, my name is Diana and I'm registered holistic nutritionist. Welcome back to my channel, Healthy Future, where we talk about health and wellness and happiness. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the guilt. You know, that guilt that you have during the weekend sometimes and you have during the holidays. So stay tuned until the end and you will find out how not to have the guilt during the holidays. Please subscribe and share this video to someone who you think might benefit from it. In my previous video, we talked about how to stay healthy during the holidays. So if you didn't watch, please go back and watch that video. It's very useful to know how to keep yourself healthy during the holidays. Now in this video, we're going to talk about food, a lot of food. So holidays, especially winter holidays, are bringing a lot of joys. And I know everyone is eager to receive guests, to host, and also to go and visit families. Either or, all this process involves a lot of treats, food, desserts, and always something special. It's very normal to feel guilty during holidays if you are around a lot of food or if you eat a lot of this good food, especially if you keep very healthy and watching what you're eating during the rest of the days of the year. In fact, 2020 studies show that 63% of Americans are feeling guilt, special food guilt, during the holiday. So I want to share with you something. These holidays, give yourself this little pleasure to enjoy everything and not feel this guilt that is burdening you during the whole this beautiful and happy season. So what is a food guilt? Food guilt is when you feel bad about something you've eaten or you're feeling guilty for what you've chosen to consume. Food guilt can quickly spiral into deeper feeling of shame, depression, and especially for people with food disorders. Now, did you ever have that feeling when to feel good you need something to eat? So it's like, okay, if I have this piece of chocolate, I'm gonna feel so good. And then you had that piece of chocolate and you feel is like, oh my God, why did I have it? Oh my God, why did I inhale that? Why did I drink that? Why did I eat that? Do you feel that? That's what food guilt looks like. Now, we don't talk here about the food disorder. This is completely other topic. We talk about, that guilt, especially during the holidays. So if you've been harder on yourself during the year, like you've been watching what you're eating, you've been very healthy, you've been watching how much you're eating during the holidays, you might feel that guilt just because you're gonna overconsume. That doesn't mean that you're gonna overeat. It means that you're gonna eat a little bit more than you would have usually. So we have to understand first, what is a food guilt? So if you've been so good all year and you control yourself and you control your portions and micro and micronutrients, and maybe you calculate your calories and maybe you count every single piece that you had, and here the holidays come and you are losing control. So that loss of your control, this is a food guilt, because you are not feeling guilty only that you ate more, but you also are feeling guilty that you've lost that control and you are bitching yourself. It's like, oh my God, why do I do that? As a registered holistic nutritionist, I'm working a lot with the clients who are going through this problem. Every time I do have special clients during the holidays who I'm open to work with them every single day just to make them go through holidays easier and smoother. I know you might say, oh, but Diana, this sounds like therapy. No, it's not. Because the relation between you and food, that's what we call holistic nutrition. So we have to enjoy everything. And that's why I tell all my clients, restrictions is not the cause of your problem. You have to enjoy, you have to indulge, and you have to know when and how. And this is so easy to do with someone who can guide you step by step. So I'm going to tell you about 7 ways how you can avoid this guilt, special for food. I know some of you also have that guilt of extra alcohol consumption, but this all goes together. So why do we have that guilt now more than usually? It's because during the holiday we have normally more stress and more anxiety than ever. Stress and anxiety adds to something that's called comfort food. So when we are stressed, we are looking for that comfort food that our mothers, our grandmothers used to cook during the holidays. And usually this is something very special, very high in calories and maybe something sweet and maybe something more greasy than usual. So then when you eat thinking that I'm going to feel so good, and you have to feel good. But meanwhile, you feel that guilt is like, oh, why did I do that? So that's why this guilt is higher during the holiday season. So number one, how you can avoid that is basically to look through the food during the holiday as a very high nutritional food. And think about it, especially if you live in a Nordic country. Outside is cold, I need to nourish my body. My body is going to be nourished with all this beautiful food, and I'm not going to have guilt because this is also high nutritional food. So I always suggest my clients to have the rules of two. Every time when you go, visit someone, or when someone is coming to visit you, allow yourself 2 extra foods that usually in a normal days you will not have it. So look at those 2 extra foods as something very special for your body. And forget about it. Number 2, practice mindful eating. Mindful eating is the act of paying attention to what you eat and appreciating every bite. So what is that? When you eat something, when you go, visit someone, or you are at the restaurant, or you are at the banquet hall, when you have that meal in your plate, just look at it and try to eat it slowly. Appreciate everything what's in there. And, inhale slowly, step by step. Like that, you're not going to overconsume. But also, if you eat more than usual, if you chew slowly and you eat slower than usual and normal, what people are doing, you're going to savor it. And you're not going to have this guilt because you're going to be focusing on the taste and savor of the food instead of, oh, I just swallow everything. Number 3, focus on how you feel and bring memories to each food. So sometimes people don't realize that they don't have guilt because they ate too much, but they have guilt because that food is related to some memories from maybe childhood, from maybe adolescence, from maybe different time in your life. So when you eat something and you think is like, oh my God, this food is gonna bring me so much joy because it's from my grandma or it's from my mom, we used to bake or cook together, then you have those good thoughts and good feelings. And then some food is related to some unpleasant situations in your life. And when you eat that food, you don't even realize that the food might not be the problem, is the memory that's connected to that food through your life. And what were you feeling when you eat that special food back then? This is a very important step because we don't just forget, we remember. Certain situations in life, we remember the smell, the taste of it, the feeling, everything. So when you see that food that you feel guilty after, just try to think, why? Why am I feeling guilty? Because I ate too much or because something is related to that food? Number 4, I know it requests more than usual time, but however, have a food journal during the holidays. And let me tell you why. Keeping a food journal is always a positive experience through the life entirely. But during the holiday, this is a special time. Sometimes you are in rush, so you don't realize when you have guests over or you visit someone, you go to the restaurant or to banquet hall, and then you come back and you feel bloated, you feel overwhelmed, you feel that you ate too much, and you are very upset and you feel that guilt. Maybe you had a couple of drinks also, and then you realize that, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going tomorrow because I ate too much today, so I'm done. So by having a food journal, it's an amazing experience to write down everything you ate yesterday, let's say. And then when you look back, you say, oh, I didn't really eat too much. I didn't really drink too much, but I felt overwhelmed just because you were tired. So how many times and how many of you went to a restaurant or a party or a birthday party or a wedding, and then you came home and you felt like, oh my God, I've ate all the food from that party. But in fact, it's not that, because it's accumulation of extra food, which is a little bit extra drink, extra dance, and you are also overwhelmed and you're tired and it's anxiety and it's all this makeup on you and it's all this dress that you had to fit in and not breathing half of the wedding. So when you put all this together, it's not only the food that brings you guilt, you're just tired. So have that journal and enjoy that food. Number 5 is avoiding the nutritional madness. As we talked about the food journal, that is really good for you. But also the same thing, that food journal can get very bad in somebody's situation when you try to realize, okay, well, I went yesterday to my mom-in-law and I have too much meats and too much carbs and maybe some sugar and maybe some sweets. So when you try to calculate everything down, you're like, oh my God, I ate too much of this and too less of this. I have to balance this and that. Guys, it's holidays. So during that period of time, it's 2 weeks. It's sometimes less, but let's put it all the parties that you have from work also. I will say 2-3 weeks max. Try not to calculate. Yes, try to consume more salads, more vegetables, more water, be active. But then enjoy, because January comes, we're gonna have a detox. If you didn't sign up for detox, go check my Instagram. So remember, being caught up too much in calculating everything and thinking that this is healthy, this is unhealthy, this is nutritional rich food, and this one is not, this is too much fiber, you're not gonna enjoy your holidays. But that's all about it, to relax and enjoy. So try not to get caught up in nutritional madness. Now, number 6, and I love that, try to honor your hunger. So I know many of my clients during the holidays, they are trying to prepare food, they are trying to run around, they are trying to prepare the gifts and everything. So then, you know what's happening? You start to prepare in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna eat because I'm gonna eat at the table. And then lunch comes, it's like, I'm gonna skip lunch because I will have too much during dinner time when the guests are coming. And then dinner comes, you are so hungry that you eat everything. So try not to do that. Even during holidays, try to keep it simple. 3 meals, have a lot of water, and if you need snack in between, please have them. So like that, you're gonna avoid this over consumption during the lunch or dinner, whatever, it's a big meal for you. So try to honor your body. When it's hungry, give it food. And number 7, try to switch up your thinking a little bit and reward yourself for everything what you've done through the year. So I know many of you are going to the gym through the year, are doing Zumba, Pilates, anything you guys do, you're watching what you're eating, you have a lot of veggies, you drink a lot of water, which is amazing. So it's time to reward yourself. It's time to reward your body. And yes, we can have a lot of healthy nutritional food during the holidays and they taste very well and they are amazingly good. However, we are very nostalgic as human beings. So during the holidays, we are always thinking about that taste of the childhood when the grandma and your mother came with special treats. And you want that. I want that. I want to give that to my kids. I want to remember that. I want to honor my grandmother and my mother for giving me all those recipes. Yes, we might improve a little bit here and there, but remember, that's not gonna hurt you. So that's what's number 7 about. Reward yourself. Instead of thinking it's like, oh, I'm not gonna have that dessert because it's gonna be bad for me, you think about, I'm gonna have a little piece because that's from my grandmother and I can pass it on to generation and I remember them and they are not gone because there is something that I can pass on. So reward yourself, because like I'm always telling all my clients, 80% rules, 20% fun. So have that 20% fun at the end of the year and reward yourself and enjoy. So just remember, mental health is on the rise and we have so much anxiety and we have so many problems around and stress and everything. Let's make food less stressful than it's supposed to be. Let's enjoy these holidays. Let's go and see each other. Let's meet outside. Let's go to the restaurants. Let's, have tea and coffee and desserts together. Just enjoy. And remember, a little bit's not gonna harm you. A lot maybe will, but you're not gonna get to that point. So stop having that food guilt every time that you have a little bit extra. Try to enjoy and savor it. And then you say, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Today I'm gonna enjoy. I hope this video was very helpful. I hope you're gonna share with someone who needs that video. And please subscribe and leave a message and help me to give you more knowledge in how to be healthy and happy. Because those are two things. Remember the rules of two things that it's so important in life: health and happiness. Have a wonderful holidays. This was Diana, your registered holistic nutritionist. Hope to see you in my next video. Have a wonderful new year.